Hello, gonna continue talking about the stalking women that are next to me, but I'm gonna get into a little bit of church. I just want to bust them. I want society to bust them. I want the Arabics to bust them, fake church, and for that I have to explain them how things work. For those that don't know how life should work, this is how it is. I am a Brazilian. I live in Brazil. I had my youth stolen from me. I grew up without a father. When I was young, I never thought about the human thought and how the human thought work. I never crossed my mind about that. I never cared about it. I never felt interested or curious to know how the human thought work. So Brazilians took advantage of me in so many ways. When I say this, I'm talking about financial, but they always take into a sexual reference. That's not what I'm talking about. Brazilians, I am Brazilian, and I'm from Brazil, and I love my country, but unfortunately this country is kind of like demonized by, I don't know why. We have a bunch of theories about Brazil. I'm not gonna talk about them, otherwise it's gonna make it even worse. In Brazil we need more people to be positive and people to bring the country up, not to put more down. And when I talk bad about Brazil, I'm talking about like some people. The country is just a land and it needs work on it. The people that just use the country for scams and crimes and stuff. But if you look deep down in Brazil, it's a bunch of farmers and people that they're very humble and poor, and they don't have much to offer. And sometimes poor people, they only know how to express themselves in through sex and activities of bars and alcohol and stuff like dance and stuff like this. They don't know much. So when I talk about videos like this, I'm not talking about the main Brazilian people, the poverty that they struggle through. They've been struggling for so many years. So did I. I'm talking about like fake church women. For example, every country needs a church. Every country needs a religion leader. Because we need to get married. We need to marry each man. Men would like to get married to a woman. So what women do, especially in Brazil, they take advantage of it. They know that man needs to get married, so they try to manipulate men through that. For example, right now in Brazil, what I'm going through is, I had my life. I lived my life. I lived my childhood. I lived my youth, my teenagerhood, and then I went to the United States. I lived a little bit. I went through a series of money washing through the like governments and Brazilians and cyber crime people. I was in between these people. They were doing crime, cyber crime. They were doing bank fraud. They were doing land fraud. They were doing real estate fraud. They were doing all bunch of things, and I was in the middle. I was trying to understand life. Like I said before, I did not understand the human thought, how it worked. I had no experience about like police, criminals, or anything like this. So any thought that was sent to me was like suggested to me. Of course, my body would just grab it and act upon it, because my body did not understand how it does right now. Back in the day, I thought everything was just me and me and me. Everything was produced from my body, and I had nothing to do with outside of my body. So Brazilian women, because they're so low life and they're like criminals, they make part of a crime organization, and now their focus it's on stalk on me and investigate my life. They are using the dossier of my history of my life to try to manipulate me and drive me crazy. They send a bunch of thought suggestions towards me from the things that they know. When I came back from the United States, I did not know what I know now. I came back, I thought to myself, I'm gonna go back to Brazil, I'm gonna teach some English a little bit to people that really don't know anything. And I'm just gonna make some extra money. I end up making a Facebook account. So of course, anyone that would appear there that I knew, I put it as my friend. People from San Francisco, California, the fake friends that I have from San Francisco, California, fake friends from Brazil, and other people. So as soon as I put people in my Facebook, I start feeling really sick, and my body starts shivering. I start feeling sick. I start feeling like my skin start itching a lot, and I start feeling a lot of demons on me. The first time. Then I prayed a lot. I started praying. I started looking for God. I started praying again. I never related that to the people. So my life started getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and then I started receiving attacks from the history from San Francisco. I end up automatically publishing things that was in my mind and was in my heart about them, and then I end up forgetting about the account, and then I left on the side. I tried to delete it, and then I thought, you know what? I tried to go into Facebook, and then I realized that the Facebook in Brazil wasn't very accurate like it is in the United States. They they're just there to be there. They're not really interacting with us. So I thought, I don't care, so leave it there. So I went away and I tried to make a Twitter. So in Twitter, I start understanding that I already knew about social media, but I started understanding the bubble of social media. And then every time I would try to go back to school to study, Brazilians, they would find a way to push me out, or to put some nasty guy to pick on me, and we end up fighting or arguing. So I would quit, or they would start problems, or I would start feeling those feelings again. So I started feeling really bad towards their energy. So I started understanding that the energy I was feeling demonized was coming from them, pushing me away, and the energy was saying like, you're no good, we don't want anything to do with you, and we envy you that you lived in the United States, we envy that you know so much about the cyber business, and we don't, and we have to make. What they do is they hate me for the things that I know, but I don't have the English to go and stop like a whole crew of people. And what I know, it's what I know, it's what I lived there. Americans, some Americans were beautiful with me. They showed me things. They showed me that it's possible to make in life. I don't have the people in Brazil, because the people in Brazil, they are not up to business. And the ones there are, they're all set up in São Paulo or Rio de Janeiro. They're all like a bubble, set up bubble. They will never let me be the leader of them on any group or anything like this. They just comes and they try to learn from my sources, from things that I know. They try to learn what I know about police or about cyber business or my past lives, and then they take off and they make a new app with what they get from me, and they keep on treating me like really bad, in a bad way. So I know what my style is not that fancy. I don't have much to offer to kids in a fancy media way. I didn't get to do the website I had in mind when I came from the United States, all fresh. I had an amazing website I was going to do for the whole world. I had a $1 billion idea in my mind before Brazilians start presenting themselves to me so demonized the way they do now. For example, this last video now that I'm doing now before I go to bed, I don't even know why I do videos. I will never get paid from them. They really don't support me with anything. But I want to tell the world about what Brazilian women are doing, especially like teenagers. they're using the Christian church to stalk guys like me that are single. They have a pretending church throughout Brazil, and then the teenagers, they attempt school, they graduate very early, and then women usually go to TV shows and stuff, and they study about single men DNAs and dossiers, all about our lives, our past life history. They go through like our childhood neighborhoods and give people little gifts so that they can tell them our childhood histories and stories, little stories that only us knew. And then they mention those things on TV to embarrass me and other people. I guess the other people, they don't get embarrassed because they're the ones that made those stories to be the way they are. So they crucified me now in my old time, my old age. I'm not that old, but they're trying to crucify me in public throughout TV. And usually TV hosts, they are like, I don't find them ugly, but probably they might have some difference between with me, and that's, I don't know why they choose guys like me to pick on. I by making research on the internet and seeing all the guys that got killed, they all look like me. They all look like Arabics. They have beard and dark hair, and the other guys that killed them, they all look like dark hairs. They're all dark skinned. They're all like kind of familiar from like, look like from Bahia. They kind of like they are gay, but they are not gay, but they are kind of like they murder anybody, and they're together with the Brazilian police. The Brazilian police, they kill one guy one day, the next day they let them go free. So they're doing so much, and luckily me, I don't get killed. And for me, it's like I feel like I'm a ghost. But this is what I want to tell the world about. Women in Brazil, they're using the church to study guys like me, to study like single men, to study about our past lives, our history, and then they make videos about it, they make cartoons about it. It's just like people that don't have creativity, they don't have anything better to do but to talk about other people. For example, when I make videos, I make one video, even though if I'm talking about the nasty stuff, I'm not supposed to curse, I forgot. At least I'm trying, because I heard some American ask not to, so I'm gonna try not to curse. When I make videos, I put my videos into like rappers, for example, because I like rappers. So I find that it's funny what we are talking about, and then we put rappers. If he starts thinking about me, maybe I get into the game. I don't think he's gonna sing about me, but if he does, I'll get in the game. I try to support by connecting videos. For example, I like those guys, Red Man and forgot the other guy from the How High movie. I like them. I like their rappers. I like the way they rap. It's pretty cool. Style of like Tupac and stuff. But for example, I connect them together. I know they are trying to rap and get back to the rap and hip hop and stuff and make more money. Who knows, I get caught someday, but I doubt it that some of those guys will come to Brazil and give me a cut of their rap. But who knows, maybe I hit a jackpot by connecting those videos. And I know they are trying to bring Tupac again. The new generation that will come in future will not know about Tupac unless those demonized women tell and put in gossip magazine stuff. But I know there is already a clone about him, and I always connect him with holographic. Probably in the future, that's how the cell phones will look like. You just open the cell phone, the holographic will appear in front of you, a person will appear in front of you, you're going to speak with the person in face to face. So things like this. Me being in Brazil, my only concern in fight is low-life women. They have nothing to do, nothing better to do. They try to pretend to be from church so that no one hurts them or hurt them. So they pretend to be from church, they go in church, they attempt schools, they study about single men and all men. They write and they keep our tracks, our dossiers from our entire life, our childhood to our teenagerhood into our adult lives. They keep track of our jobs, our financial situation. They connect to each other and they pass to each other information about our bank accounts. They know, excuse me, they know when we have a car, when we're driving, when we're not driving. They know when we're in the bathroom, when we're taking a shower. They make noise when we're in the shower. They make comments about, at least about me. They make comments. You know, when I go out, there's always a girl stalking me in the street, not to be with me or to have sex or kiss or anything or cuddle or anything. She's just there to stalk. So probably she's passing the information through some crime, local crime. They're now trying to keep me in Brazil, locked up in the house. So whenever I go, there's a lake by here. When I go ride my bicycle there, they try to hit me with a car. They threaten to hit me and stuff. They're trying to keep me out of going in an outdoor activity. When I say I'm gonna leave from Brazil, they try to get me in jail. They push a guy to fight me so that I can hit him and go to jail. They're always trying to get me in jail, to keep me in one place, so that whenever I'm in one place, they try to hack my brain by making a lot of noise and bringing stuff about my childhood and whispering things and making fun of me and trying to put my family against me. And it's like hell in life. It's hell in earth. And there's always either a blonde woman in charge of all the screws or a fat woman in charge of them. When I was in the United States, I never took this very serious, but now I'm starting to get to understand and get this serious. There's always like a fat woman or a blonde woman taking over like businesses, technology, all kind of business. These women, they are trying to control who drives, when to drive, where to go, how to go, when to go. They're even trying to control now how if we exercise or not. For example, when I go exercise, it looks like there's a camera hidden here. I don't think there's any camera hidden in my room. I really believe that either satellite is giving them the image of my room, inside my room by satellite, or the army in Brazil, it's connected with those crime women that take care of all the business, because they don't want guys like me to expand their business or become anything or anybody in life. So they're, I know that in the army there's a thing that they can look through the walls, and from our heat they can see our movements. And if he's seeing me, or if he knows, or even if he's in the base seeing from satellite, he can send a message mentally to her, and she will know what I'm doing by the time. So whenever I go to work out, for example, right now I'm going to bed, I'm going to go work out a little bit. She started making noise, and she already studied what irritates me. Whatever irritates me, that's what she's going to do. She works on her voice to irritate me. She say things about... she sometimes uses children to say irritated voice things that will piss me off, and I will end up not doing it. Sometimes I win her, sometimes I put the match, and then I think about some yoga teachers that are calm and positive, and then I think about them, and then I end up doing yoga on my own, but she's still hitting the door, saying something. She's like, that's why they're all fat. Now I understand why Brazilian community, they're all fat now, and usually all people, all women are fat, because they don't do anything in life. They don't work out. They just spend their time monitoring single men, other men, and keeping men away from working out. And the funny thing is that every time I go kind of far away from house, some black guys show up, all thin and so like buff and six-pack and everything. So that by there I know that it's a like world conspiracy against people my appearances, like my face and my appearances, or even my DNA or something. This happened in São Paulo. This happened in Curitiba. Everywhere I go, they're unfortunately, that's just what I feel in my heart. It's that I think I was used, I said that in another video, I think I was used for crime, cybercrime, so that people could build a cybercrime when I was in Brazil, when I left to California, and when I came back. So I'm a type of like a prototype of a cybercrime. When dumbass other people see this video, they're like, who the fuck is this guy? What is this guy talking about? It's because you have to watch the other videos, dumbass. And I probably did not invite you. You can watch and try to understand what I'm saying, but you cannot start criticizing what you don't know. What I'm saying right now is that what's happening is dangerous. We men, we are going through a minority of women taking over our careers, our jobs. They keep one man here and there to make a difference, to be the difference, the balance of their BS, but they actually are taking over. When I was in the United States, that's what I felt. They were buying all the small business. In Brazil, we call terceirizadas. They will do it much more. They not even started. It's so much business that they not even started, but they will take over. You can notice that by the credit. When you can notice that Brazilian men, they don't have credit. Women don't let men have credit in Brazil. You know, that's why I think America should rule the world. And I'm here to support you whenever you want to connect with me. If you're from America, I know a lot about America. I know a lot about business. I'm not graduate or anything. I don't have a PhD or anything, but anything from the very scratch, from the very ABC of internet to all the way to whatever, anything you want to talk about, I know. I know if you want to go 18th centuries all the way to year one, we can build anything you want. But I just don't trust Brazilians. I think of course there's many Brazilians there, it's good out there. I just can't find them, but I don't trust them. I think they're trying to kill me. They are trying to kill me. For them to kill another person, they don't see murder like I see. For me, when I see murder, it's like for example, Ghana. When I see people killing people in Ghana, I want to go there as a missionary and talk to them about Jesus, to teach them that killing other people, it's no good. That's the first thing in the Bible that God teaches us, not to kill anyone. But when the person is savage, you have to break the savage little by little, because a savage that it's used to killing another human being, it's not gonna be easy. Someone that sets someone on fire, you're talking about an animal. So it's an animal in a human body. That animal, you have to break him in really slow. You gotta break him in. You gotta be stronger than him. You gotta carry a weapon to speak to an animal. Then when he sees you, then you bring up the love. Then you bring up the words, and then you introduce him human words. After you bring up the words, you talk about Jesus to him. You explain to him what Jesus did to, not to him or to me, or for him or for me, to the whole humankind, the human race. It's not that we are trying to push Jesus on him so that he can become Christian and then he will forget about Muslims. Not that. We have to talk to people and explain to people what Jesus did so that we wouldn't kill each other, so that we wouldn't suffer, so that we would stop with war and stuff. That's how you speak to an animal. So a lot of Brazilians, they're animals. They are there to get you to fall, to kill you, to sell drugs to you, to make you divorce, to make you break up, or to make you hate each other, to make you kill your family. There's people that kill their mothers, their fathers. For them, it's like it's nothing. So this is the people that you're dealing with. But first of all, before we start doing this, we gotta deal with the women that monitors us, women that stalks us. So until we deal with the women that stalks us, we will not be able to win the children that they are whispering. The much that people whisper crap on us and stuff on us, those whispering stuff and whatever uncalled for things that they do will get into our brain and will build up a personality. You can tell by listening. When I listen to a guy next here, I go like, he's like a mixture of a gay guy and then he's kind of like a guy from he does theater, and he's kind of like a low life, like a hippie guy, and he's trying to be good looking, and at the same time he's trying to be all attractive and stuff. And then sometimes he says stuff like hitting message to me, and then his moms kick in, and then they change it, they mix, they play with their nasty voice, and then they say indirections, and then they learn some information about me on the internet, or something that I might have said in Facebook when I was still a dreamer. And then they use that against me. They're not asking for any money yet, but they're always saying something. They're constant. And then their father kicks in. It sounds like it's a fat ass guy. That it's just like those drunk fat ass guys. I don't know if he's drunk, but it looks like those fat ass. He pretend to be an office guy, and then he kicks in. Sometimes he laughs out loud, and then she'd say, and then the fat lady comes in, and then she says something kind of like towards me. And then when I go poop, there's a girl. There's one girl that is cute, but there's another girl that's kind of like, she's in between. She's trying to get married, but she's trying to call my attention so that she can get married. Get her man to be jealous and get married with her faster. So she keep playing those bullshit. So whenever I go poop, she says something, and then I go pee, she says something, and then I go to the kitchen, and then the lady makes the other round, and she passes by, she says something. It's just like people that like I go like, my God, if we were working together, we were making so much money. But it's like, how am I end up in a place like this? For example, like right now, I'm all packed up. I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna be here because in Brazil, where I am, there's no job for me, and people are trying to they're trying to really reduce me to nothing, and their focus is to either make me become gay or homeless. So I'm all packed up. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go away from life. I don't care if anything happens to me, but here I will not stay here. It's sad things because my family's here, and then I came back when God first started speaking to me when I was in the United States, and God started telling me, look, you have no friends. These people, they are not your friends. You have to leave. These people are stealing from you. God told me everything. He showed me that I was going to be cheated by Gina. He showed me that when I went to that bar, of a street bar, I don't want to talk about her because Gina, she's a very dear friend to me. And it's like we had a thing, and I heard that she got married, she got a kid. Probably now my ex is trying to do the same thing. That's why I get so many hidden messages from the United States, California. People that have no responsibility, that they, in order to get married and get kids and get some government benefits, they used me. And it's so sad because I look at my life now, I was left with nothing. And Nicole, Gina, everyone just played me for government benefits and cyber crime, cyber scams and stuff. Probably, you know, all those countries were involved. India, Hawaii, China, probably all together in this. And this is like a worldwide conspiracy cybercrime thing. And then they saw me, they're like, oh, this guy is not awake. He got Nicole, she's smart. Oh, he got Gina, let's just money wash on him. So they money washed at Fedex and all those other companies behind my back. When I go now, LinkedIn, for example, I thought when I came from the United States, I thought, well, I'm just gonna go in LinkedIn, and make some friends, and probably we're gonna start a new conversation. By making a new conversation, I had the English idea that I had a very amazing English website idea for kids, for all people. We're going to be billionaires in a matter of like seconds, matter of weeks. But it's just, they're just are not open for that. They just, I understood now that life, internet and governments, they're just to, it's just fooling It's just fooling people. It's not to make anyone making money. The people that are making money, they already come from rich families and they have Tesla scam hooked in, and they already have the mansion hooked in, and they just put a Tesla car in the garage, and they're all BS. They're all like playing, but they're not giving any opportunity. They're the same. They're making the same like slaves of internet and stuff. You know, this is so not what we know. We know it's not what it is, internet. You know, when I have an opportunity, they say, or any entrepreneur say to me, you want money, you want to start a business, and they give me a little money, I would change the whole game. This is so not what I know. And I know what it is to be dealt with, and I know where to get. I know the sources. If I get a visa right now, a passport, I go to the United States. I know everything, what everything is. I know everything that they're taking for granted. I know they're taking a lot of. Do you know how much Americans and Brazilians are making as waste every year, every day? It's like, let me see, maybe 2 million every day. 2 million every day that passes by, and I'm being taken for granted, and people just pretend I don't exist, that I don't know the things that I know, the business on American that I know. We are losing 2 million every. Let's be fun, let's be cute and just say 2 million every day. Look, I know cab driver business, I know dispatcher business, I know Oracle business, I know telephone business, I know cell phone business, I know iPhone business, I know the iPhone business. Like, look how many states that don't have iPhone business going on. Look how many states in Brazil that they don't have telemarket business going on. Look how many states in Brazil that we don't have a limo business going on. And if they go crazy, it's so much. It's just like zillions and zillions of dollars that are wasted every day just by keeping women to be gossiping, to control single men, to try to keep men in 1 square foot room so that they can gossip about our poop on the internet and make cartoons about us pooping. They make cartoons of us pooping and they put on the internet and YouTube, and they think it's so like, oh my god, let's make a video, a cartoon video of him pooping, and then his routine from the time he wakes up until the time he goes in the bed. And then let's make a clone couple of him and Nicole, and then we make a clone, and then we're just gonna be repeating her name all the time to piss him off. And then let's make a American Idol with like a blonde girl, and then whenever we want to piss him off, we're gonna say that it's her. And then when we're gonna piss him off, we're gonna play their song. So by playing this song, I see now that my life was predicted. When I was in Brazil, they lived my life. You can see in all those movies, and now I understand why those women's they were always connected to the movie theater, because movie theaters, they assume our thoughts, and Americans, they do not consider any other country. Only American is people for them, and any other country, we're just intruders. Americans are the only race in the world. Women, they assume our thoughts, and if you say anything, if you go against them, they cut you off, like they try to cut me off. They assume thoughts, especially, and the movie theater decides what they're gonna decide. For example, women assume thoughts, and by the movie that they choose the life. Some women, they choose. I've seen a lot of women breaking up inside the movie theater because a guy said so through the movie, so she assumed the thought and she did that. I know a lot of crazy things that they do, but I wouldn't bet my life into assuming others' thoughts. I think each brain is different. I think each person has different decision, and we should not assume other human being thoughts. We should not thought-provoking. We should not live life by gas passing. I think a gas is something that the body should feel naturally, depending on what you eat. Like the politicals were talking about it one time ago. It comes from the bottom, goes right up. It's not something that you have to be forcing through your mind and thought-provoking to gas pass or try to pitch someone. I remember when I was little, kids in school used to pitch each other's butt through the mind, and he had a little phrase about it. Oh, I'm gonna pitch your butt just blinked. They used to say those things. I never paid attention because it was so like, was nothing. Back in the day for us was nothing. But now I understand that many people, they dedicated their life for that. It's so funny. After later, when I was older, I understood that Aristotle is also lived life by that type of code. Not me, it doesn't make. Sometimes when I want to lecture someone kind of hard, I do it, but it's not something that I do all the time. Especially people that I don't know and I don't care about. If it was someone that, excuse me, I really care about, I probably would, but someone that I don't care, why would I be bugging about your thing? Only if we're gonna do something. But so anyway, so this is it. I just, like I said, I just made this video because I want you to focus on the fake churches in Brazil. Pay attention that women are using the dossier of our life to, the memos and dossiers of our life to control men. There's a lot of water to deal with in the future. Life is not going to be this way. Internet is not what they're showing right now. This is not internet. This is a joke, especially in Brazil. People paying $100 for internet in Brazil, but this is not internet. This is a joke. This is not what internet is supposed to be. The companies are fooling Brazilians. They are fooling the whole world with this pretending internet. If you say, oh, if you say so much, why don't you do it better? Or I do better. If you pay me, I'll do it tomorrow. I even know who can do it for me. Just pay him, he will do it for me. I have the project. I know you try to hack all the time. I have pieces of my project throughout the internet all over the place. I have like apps that you try to hack it from me and you didn't make it right. You made it similar, but you didn't make it right the way I had in my mind. I have things in my head right here that you try to hack all the time. You piss me off all the time to try to hack what I have in mind to present to the world. I will never share with you for free. Nor I would put myself to work in Brazil in this pothole place where you feel myself around like nasty women that just try to dig my privacy, and just nasty neighbors. These people are so nasty. They're so like disgusting that I want to throw up just to think about them. You know, people that are just so fucking nasty. I'm so glad I will leave from here. I would actually, to tell you from the bottom of my heart, for the people that might feel anything about me out there, there's a lot of people that I love so much. I don't like to say it, but there's a lot of people that I care for. There's a lot of people that I care. I just don't say all the time. You should know, you should feel that I care for you. But from the bottom of my heart, I prefer to be homeless, to eat dog shit, to be around these people, these neighbors of mine. They stalk me all the time. People that try to destroy my mind by sending bad thoughts, negative energy. People that yap at me, people that send interactions towards me. They harass me all the time. And by being from Brazil, Brazil is such an unfortunate, demonized place. I cannot call the cops and satanic people like this, because the cops, they're so like, they're just fucking gay. And it's like, if I was in the United States, I would just call the police and say, listen, I have a neighbor that is harassing me. The cops, they would go on them, would charge them. They'll go and see what it is that these people want with me all the time for this many years. But in Brazil, you can't. You tell the cops something like this. First, you call the police. Now it's only women that pick up the phone. Once you say that there is a woman bugging you, the woman on the phone, she takes her case, and then she starts trying to make the situation against me. God told me that this was going to happen. When I was coming back from the United States and I started seeing all the things the Brazilians were up to, they were planning to do in the future and against my life, God showed me a little bit of NASA plans and stuff. When I came back home, and for example in Brazil, we're not used to see a lot of female police in the street. This is not something they used to see a lot back in the day. And then the NASA, they are working with the fake churches in Brazil now, and then they placed Brazilian police female. They never told us what they were going to do, but first they used us, they used me and many other guys. So many guys died, so many guys still alive. Some guys, they got married the wrong way and stuff. But they used a supposed immigration 25 to hack my live videos. They cloned my live videos. They stole it from me, my live videos. They pretend to be my friend. They got closer to me. All the people, the fake friends that I used to have in the back in the days. The only thing that now everything makes sense. Why those guys, they used to always come to me and ask about my private life with women, how I used to do with women, how I thought that we were doing some type of therapy between friends, but they were actually digging on my life, and I did not know. They were all fake and asking me about women, how I used to, how do you do with women, how do you care them, how do you kiss, how do you have sex, how do you do things, like real details. When I was still asleep, I used to talk about now everything. I never spoke about my last four relationships, but before even that, when I was even younger, like in my 20s, I used to tell people, you know. But now I know some of them, they were gay, they were trying to get closer, and some guys, they were like building up privacy of like knowledge of my privacy to use against me later, which is now, for some now gay guys, they talk about other people in the internet, like they don't care. In the internet, they talk about other people's lives, like the information that they got from Facebook, from when we were young, when we were, for example, what I see here in life is that a channel was opened. Back in the day, when I was in the United States, no one used to communicate through the mind like this. Now people just communicated through the mind. People are like sending thought message to each other. Before, people used to so that someone used to talk to each other, they used to have to pay for text message. I remember I had an iPhone. We used to live on the iPhone 24/7. My friends and I, everyone used to send text message all the time. You used to go to a cell phone store. I never touched a cell phone cheap stuff. I never saw the back of my phone. Used to go in the store, you buy a phone, the guy used to put the phone for you. He had to call a base of the cell phone, and then they would authorize the line, and then we would pay there every monthly. After they opened this mind channel, this brain channel, which is probably is my channel, because if the brain, I don't know how many cells the brain has, probably they stole it, one cell from my brain, and then they opened a fake channel, because now people are just sending each other's thoughts through the mind. They're not using cell phone anymore. So they bought the company that I have in the United States, which was a fat woman as well, black hair, fat woman. It's such a coincidence. All of them, they were fat, black hair, and demanding woman. And then after they bought the company from me, which such a small money, and then they start pushing me around. They used me to build up custom service. They destroyed my life in credit wise when I was younger. They used me to force me to not force, but they basically society pushed me to spend my credit opportunities into clothes, which they were going to steal later on. When they pushed me around in the United States, they pushed me to leave my clothes behind so that the people used to take it. So everywhere I would go and party, I would see someone with a jacket of mine or a sweater of mine. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? You know, so it's just crazy how life turned out to stab in my back this way. And the whole world was watching. There was not even one policeman that would put himself out there to defend me, or any lawyer or judge or anyone. No one ever took my case and defend me anyways. I had a wife, I have a father, I have a mother, I have a brother, I have a sister, I have an aunt, and they were all togetherness. My uncle just died. He was smart. He wasn't a Canadian. You know, I have people that they speak English. They know what's going on. They understand what I'm saying right now. You know, I just don't understand why they chose me to be used by all these people to money washed through Fedex companies, and they gave like so many other guys that still immigrant and still illegal. They took it from me. That, you know, I don't see why I was the chosen one to be punished this way. And so this is it.